Hi, everybody. I want to talk today about the future of retail. And I want to do it in the context of what I think doctors can learn about the future of retail and how it would affect them and their practices. If we go back to where retail was 40 years ago or 50 years ago, there were things called blue laws. And where I grew up in Maryland, you couldn't go shopping on Sundays because all the stores were closed. Those were blue laws. And that eventually changed, and stores became open and malls became open on Sundays. So we had shopping 7 days a week. But it's gotten to a point now where we have stores open on Thanksgiving. I don't really like that, but that's kind of what we're living with in today's hyper retail society. We need to look at the impact of online shopping. So online shopping's changed the rules, and here's the data. 69% of Americans, more than two-thirds of us, have shopped online. And 14% of all retail sales in the U.S. are done online, and that number is growing rapidly. That'll exceed 20% here in the next year or two. Why is that so? Well, come on, let's look at our own behavior. It's easy, it's convenient, and the financial aspect of the transaction is made pretty secure, although we still have to figure out how to get rid of the porch pirates who are stealing packages off of porches. I think that one will get solved over time as well. So does this mean the end of retail and physical stores? I don't think so, but there's been a lot of damage along the way. 20 to 25% of malls, according to Credit Suisse, are expected to have shut down. And we've already seen malls shut down in certain parts of the country in the next few years. One out of every four, one out of every five. That's amazing. And why? Because retailers find it hard to compete with online. The tax advantage of buying online, it just makes this thing even more complicated. So let's look at New York and some very iconic brands. Lord & Taylor, gone. Barney's, soon to be gone. But the rest of New York, there is some signs of life. And one retailer in particular, it's a favorite of mine, Nordstrom, recently opened in Manhattan, and right below this video there'll be a comment that you can link to the wonderful story on this opening. It was on CBS Sunday Morning last weekend. A Columbia Business School professor, Mark Cohen, in the interview asked, why? Why do we have Nordstrom's? I don't think the United States needs another department store. It's a pretty powerful question, but Nordstrom is different. We know that they have a great brand reputation. There was a customer or a story about a customer that returned snow tires and was refunded his money. Now, we know that Nordstrom doesn't sell snow tires, but they just took them back. That's their commitment to service. Their job description can be boiled down to 4 words: to serve and be kind. It's wonderful, it's simple, and it really is effective when we're trying to teach frontline employees how to interact with customers. Now, I don't like going shopping much. I'd rather do it from my computer, but I will go to Nordstrom, and that's the shirt I'm wearing today is from Nordstrom, so there you go. They live on service, and what's so neat about this Manhattan location that's just opened up is they have a full-service bar. So you could go in the morning, get a coffee, you can go in the evening, have a martini. All that's going to make shopping more fun. So I think they know how to do retail right, and they represent the future. It's just a better shopping experience. It's like another iconic brand of retailer, Toys R Us. Now, you're probably wondering, Toys R Us, didn't they go bankrupt? Aren't they done for? Well, they did go bankrupt, and it's sad because this was my favorite store as a kid. I loved going to Toys R Us, and I got to go twice a year, once around my birthday and once around Christmas. It was just magical. But in recent years, as I went shopping for my kids for Christmas, the store really kind of lost its mojo. I mean, they had toys and they had video games, but it wasn't a fun place to go to. Well, they're coming back. And their new CEO, Richard Berry, he gets it. And I'll send in the comments, I'll put a link to a CNBC story on what's going on at Toys R Us. They're a great brand. Kids love it, and they completely changed what happens in the store. Here's what he says. Stores are smaller, but the experience has been distilled so that kids leave feeling great. That's the goal of the interaction. Kids leave feeling great. It's immersive. Kids can pick up toys, not just see them on the shelves. They can play with them. They've partnered with great iconic brands like Lego and other hot brands like Paw Patrol. And they mix both analog and digital experiences. And you'll see in the video a wonderful, huge touchscreen where people can go search for different gifts. They've partnered with Target for e-commerce support and to cross-merchandise. Seems pretty smart. And their business model is we provide retail as a service. So they want to bring other retail brands to life in their stores. They've got one location up and running, and the data, according to the CEO, is that it's great engagement with consumers who enjoy the curation of products they provided. And he says people are seeing us in a different light as experts in the category. They're going to have 10 stores open by next year in major cities and places like Houston and the Galleria. So I think they're going to continue to do well. And you know what? As a parent, something I know, toys are recession proof. We're going to buy toys for our kids regardless of what the economy's doing. So what does this all mean for doctors? Let's kind of dig into that for a few minutes. I'd like to think of this as the Amazon effect, because we have to think about all the ordering that we used to do in person that we can now do online. There's a lot of things that I now just buy online because, as I said earlier, it's just easier. It's simpler. It's less use of my time. So retail will still stick around and physical locations will stick around because I can't try on a pair of shoes or a new suit online. I can't test drive a car online. I need to go to the store or the auto dealership to do that, and I will. But other things are online and should stay online. And this should get you thinking about what you can move online in your practice, or if you're a business owner in your place of business, what are the things that can happen online that don't need to happen in person? So in a medical practice, that would be all the form filling, all the pre-visit education, all the post-visit instructions, all that stuff can be put online so that when people are with you, we save that time for the in-person stuff that can only be done when the patient's with you. If you follow this path, overall, you're going to create a better experience that's more engaging and more rewarding for the patient, for you, and for their team. And, if you take a cue from the Experience Economy and the new edition of the book, the third edition that just came out, they talk about time well spent. That's what Toys R Us is going for. That's what Nordstrom is going for. That's what I hope you'll go for in your practice. This definitely makes sense if you're in providing elective services, but even in traditional reimbursed medicine, patients are now consumers, and consumers have more choice and more power than ever before. So pay attention to that. With that, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and a safe holiday to all of you. My name is Sharif Madavi. Thank you for watching. Until next time, goodbye, and please comment.